The first Exosister top 8 of the new format that I have seen is here, and you know what? This is a metagame breakdown. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Oh boy. Tier. 5 tier in the top cut of the Michigan regional breakdown from what I was told and was put together for this. Am I honestly surprised? No. But those numbers are very, very interesting because where's Flandre's at? This is now, what, the 4th regional that we've covered, and Flandre has been nowhere near the top 8 of any of these events so far to date. Hasn't that been kind of scary? We also had 2 Sprite in this top cut, which Sprite's been battling it out with Tier. We're back at that point in the format now where Sprite and Tier are kind of, changing blows with each other, which has definitely been a very interesting thing to see. And then we, of course, have the main reason and talk about this video, which is going to be Exosister. Exosister grabbing hold of this format in an 8th place finish, actually. It could have been a lot worse, actually. This duelist could have ended up bubbling out of top cut, but 8th place barely securing a seed in there. Now, a lot of the other stuff that you're going to see for this video is going to actually be into the top 32 for deck profiles. I actually got the chance to see some of the other list that players were messing around with, and I think it'll be a nice little change of pace to kind of see what the X2 bracket is doing in the category of people aiming to get their invites. It'll give you some interesting reassurance here. We also have a Draco Slayer deck that got 13th place out of this event, which means it secured a top 16 finish, which is nothing short of actually really good. Rumor has it, when we talk about Tinley Park leader in the week here, that there were double Draco Slayer in that top cut. So it's one region to another. It gets more and more interesting. Let's pass on over to top deck list. All right, the first list we actually have here is 5th place. This should not surprise anybody, considering the fact we had a lot of Ishizu tier out of this event. We are main decking 1 Agito, which is fine. And then, of course, triple Quebec, triple Keldo, and triple Mudora, all basic ratios. We are playing triple Talents, which is perfectly understandable. Now, for this being of interest, this build only focused on 1 Solic. I know a lot of people want to see multiple Solic being played, or 2 has been like the go-to for so long, but I think 1 worked out for this, considering the fact, we have an extra Talents in here. Honestly, 3 Talents can work out. A lot of builds I've seen have played 2, but I think that's fine. And then just 1 Scream. And then, of course, we're citing the 1 Heartbeat, and then you have way more Necworld Banshee in here for access to the zombie worlds. This card is actually really, really good as a chance to kind of slow down and detour some of the metagame out here. Now, our Exosister list. We are not playing any Buy-Steal cards. That's the first thing. I will say a lot of the OCG really love their Buy-Steal cards for the Ishizu deck. Like, they tossed them in, and they had an amazing time having access to those cards, but this particular list does not focus on that whatsoever. Obviously, Crows, Ash Blossom getting a chance to show off in here is fine. One centerpiece I do want to talk about here is Evenly Matched. Evenly gives you that counterbalance force to shift gears and go second in a format that, your opponent just set up this huge field. Low-key, Evenly is kind of a very underrated card right now in the format. I will definitely say, kind of going forward here, that you can expect some more interesting things out of this for sure. But honestly, that's what you're looking at for Exosister. I mean, the only other interesting things are like the Dark Hole and the Dimensional Fissure access down here, and then we are playing the Ultimate Slayer here, but we're not focusing on like the Evil Twin package or any of that stuff. We're just using this as like the immediate out tree that it's going to provide you, which I think ends up working out just fine. And then, of course, focusing on the Goes Imagine here. But I think most of your ratios should pretty much line up with what you're expecting. And from what I can confidently see from this duelist going around saying that the ratios were absolutely perfect at the end of the day. So not too bad. All right, next up here, was 13th place. This was Draco Slayer. Now, Draco Slayer getting the chance to show up and do its job has been very nice. I mean, the fact this deck gets access to search for Necro Valley just puts it on the radar as an even scarier deck. If you want my honest opinion on this, I'm not super well versed in this. I mean, you get access to other field spells here that are really, really cute. I mean, it's not like you don't have a spellcaster or anything to, abuse with Secret Village. And then the tilting entertainment here has just been an absolute help for this deck. It's actually really nice. The TCG exclusive actually paid itself off out here as one of the support cards. I think a lot of people were like, I don't think this is going to be all that good. It actually has provided way more for this deck than initially thought. So, good stuff. I'm really happy to see out here that, even though this wasn't like a top 8 finish, that this still finished relatively strong. Next up here was Flaunder. This made 15th place. Now, this will actually kind of give you a little bit of an idea of some of the ideas the players are testing. Yeah, it didn't make top 8 once again, but 15th place is still top 16, which means only a little bit went wrong in the day. Double Dimensional Fissure in the main deck, I think, is not a horrible idea. The fact that you can rely on this card as, the additional floodgates, the problem is you have to see it in order for this to get the job done. And I almost want to say maximize 3 of it, but with how delicate Flaunder is, yeah. And then, of course, good old Necro Valley here. We're also playing evenly matched in here. Once again, like we saw with the Exosister deck, you're going to see this deck using these particular options as equalizers for the format, all right? Like, going second will give you the chance to definitely try to score some free advantage, and then, you M-pen it on up during the next phase. Seems good enough to me. All right, next up here was 23rd place, Bysteel Sprite. Now, if you want to see like some of the option trees and things to mess around with, I mean, this Bill wanted to play Change of Heart Mind Control. We've actually started to see this start to show up. I mean, these are 2 amazing going second cards. Also, I mean, you have droplets for going second as well, but you're kind of starting to see a little bit of that shift right now where players are looking at these cards and they're going, Change of Heart and Mind Control take care of the monsters that my opponent's putting on the field because I can just link out with them, and then go along with my day. If they leave a nice link 2 on the field, well, one monster plus is just into Gigantic Sprite to start combo at the end of the day. Plus, now you've got it locked underneath the monsters like an Exceed material, so you can pretty much do what you need to do with it. So lots of interesting little combinations and things with this. I think those are 2 of the most interesting things to really note for this list. This is pretty basic stuff here. All right, so I believe that this was based off of the winning list. I can't remember. I think it was Hani's list that they mentioned in the notes for this. So you're going to be seeing pretty much a straight simple net deck here, putting it to 24th place, which isn't bad. I think it's still pretty good to see. You can definitely tell with like your side deck adjustments here that making simple changes to do well in this format isn't going to hurt you in the very least. And I think it's very important to like still mention that, especially people are like so anti net decking, but like net decking sets a base for a deck for you to be able to get your invite with. And at the end of the day, being able to qualify to go to nationals is exactly what you need to be doing right now. So yeah, very easy, straightforward, and very adaptable for you to just be able to do it with. Not too bad. And then next up here, oh boy, Flaunder. The note for this was built Friday night. I needed to throw a bunch of crap in this deck, and it was good to go. Were the notes that Zach was telling me. So Regeki was pretty OP too, but just got econs in here. You got the Dark Ruler No Mores. This is truly I picked all of the good Flaunder cards experience and had the chance for them to work out for me, the deck. And you know what? I will say that's kind of hilarious. I love the extra deck down here. We just threw a Dragoon in for literally 0 reason. And of course, good old Harpy's Featherstorm here, still doing its job as per usual. This should give you an idea of like how easy it is to construct a Flaunder deck and have it work out for you this format. So that is the Michigan regional breakdown for you guys. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patron. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.